Hello everybody, welcome back to another Mod Spotlight with me, Sid. We're over here in our Mod Spotlight world. Please ignore the naked lady picture on the wall, I like it. But I've got also pictures of Dave up on the other wall, so all good. So I thought long and hard about this particular Mod Spotlight, and on the back of my top 10 client-side mods, we're not going to immediately go into my top 10 server-side mods, which normally, if you're in single player, makes no difference anyway, but obviously if you're on a server, does. What we are going to look at today is a mod which adds absolutely zero blocks, items, or actual content to the game. It adds nothing. Except this is a mod which I would not consider playing without now. It is, well, ostensibly, it's a mod which is designed for accessibility features. Similar to accessibility tweaks, it's designed for people who struggle with certain aspects of the game, whether it be, you know, colour blindness, trigger, neurodiverse triggers over certain sounds or effects or whatever it may be. And this one is designed for people with low manual dexterity. This is another mod by Apache. Yes, it's Apache's Napster. Napster is absolutely, in my opinion, essential. I am quite simply gobsmacked that they haven't actually reached out to Apache to buy and incorporate the code as standard. It should be part of the integral game, really should. So what does it do? Well, it allows you to do some of the tricks like clay forming, dough forming, knapping, forging, panning, querning, fruit pressing. All of those things can be done easier. So if you have a manual dexterity challenge, or if you're like me and you simply find the mini game a little bit tedious after a while, because, you know, let's be honest, once you've forged your 17th pickaxe head on an anvil, the little moving voxels about game gets old. So it makes it easier. So the first thing to bear in mind is that there are 4 different modes that a server admin or yourselves can set on Napster. It can be disabled, which, let's be honest, if you're going to disable a feature, then because you think one of them is overpowered, for example, you can enable a feature, and by default they're all enabled. You can whitelist players to a feature, so you can sit there and go, well, we're going to have it on, we're going to disable it for everybody, but for Bob, who has some kind of disability, we'll enable it for, so you can give it out just where necessary. Or you can do the opposite. You can sit there and go, we're going to enable it for everybody, but for Bob, we're not going to let you use that because we don't like you. Or other reasons, By the way, there is no Bob. Bob is an imaginary name. Actually, the imaginary name that I gave my daughter from her middle name. Although, to get it past my wife at the time, I had to call it Kate, because Kate's short for Bob. References in the comments below. Anyway, let's have a play with some of the features. So you can do easy clay forming. So we can take some clay. We can go, where else would you make clay than on your living room floor? And let's do something simple like a bowl. Now I can do this the normal way, or I can go into autocomplete mode. And autocomplete just allows me to hold down in my case, the the right hand mouse button, and it will do everything for me. I don't actually have to do a thing, and that's great. Now with the clay forming feature, for example, we can change the number of voxels that the clay forming feature works, and there's a command. So Napster commands always start Napster, then you have the feature, clay forming. Now I could do Napster feature mode disabled, and that would turn it off. I could whitelist it, I can do that, but I'm going to sit there and go voxels 4. Now if I do a bowl in auto mode, it does 4 voxels at a time. Now you're going to have to consider this very carefully, because cat's at the door again, always wants to come in when I'm doing something, because it can be overpowered. For example, if you were to do that with a forging, you can end up with normal hammering, which is faster than a forge hammer. So just bear with me a second, I'm just going to go and sort this cat out. Okay, he's in and behind the monitors. No, he's moving across the printer. He's going to have a look at the food in the window. That's what he's doing. So I really should just get rid of that. Anyway, that's clay forming. You can do that. Now there is another setting you can have, which is Napster clay forming instant on. Now if I do bowl, it thinks. So again, if someone's got a severe manual dexterity issue, you might want to turn that on. You might just sit there and go, that time minigame's really annoying and boring, let me get rid. But just consider the commands that you have there. Similarly, you can have Napster for. Now by default this is on, there is no auto, it's always on for auto thing, and it will just, no mucking around moving my mouse around, it just completes. Now you can do the same again, you can do a Napster napping. He's at the door, he wants out again already. Voxels 4, and I can come down here and I can go, I'd like a thing, and again that's entirely up to you. It has the same thing for instant as well. Okay, I'm just going to have to go and deal with this. Out. Yeah, his mum, my stepdaughter, is away at the moment. She's going to be away for a week or so actually, after she's going to be back for a couple of nights, and then she goes away again, and he's missing her, as most cats do, you know, it's that kind of thing. Anyway, that's napping, that was clay forming. Similarly, we have, hopefully, I don't actually have dough. That's an interesting one. However, I can go and very quickly address that with a little bit of crafting. Boop. Boop. We need to quern that first, don't we? Okay, we'll do that first. And it allows me to demonstrate this. So Quern can, if I can find the right command, we can do Napster Quern hotkey on. So now, as long as I'm looking at the thing, I'm not holding the mouse now, and you have to take my word for it because obviously you can't see me, it will just grind the thing. Now there is also a Quern speed which allows you to change the multiplier, so again you can make the Quern process faster. In fact, let's have a go. Napster, helps if you can type. Quern hotkey, no, speed, let's do it to 5. That's halfway. 0 to 10 is the speed. You can see it's not even doing the thing now, it's just bang bang bang, it's done in no time at all. Again, use that at your discretion. Your gameplay is your gameplay, so you'll get what you need from it. Let me pop you back down there. And then of course you've got dough forming, or I think it's dough forming. Is it dough forming? Oh, doughy. Harvesting, napping, smithing, mixing. Well, I'm just trying to find the. Sure, there was one about dough forming. There was definitely. Okay, let's have a look. Not there isn't a command for this one, so does not seem to. Oh, only applies when it's using the art of cooking, so that's not applicable here. Right, what else can we do? We can definitely. Let me just fill that up. I want to control to add a stack, and then squish that down. Now I can release that early, so I don't have to push it all the way down. Again, that's just a simple fruit press option. It doesn't need to be fully compressed before it can be unscrewed. Control and release. Now obviously there's still stuff there, so we can go in there, press that down. That's a fairly basic one. Done the clay forming, done all of that. We obviously get the juice and yada yada. That's all fine. Quern we've done. Let's go and have a look at panning. So panning, got a bit of gravel up here, and I can take that and I just have to press my button and it pans. I don't need to hold the mouse button down, okay? But you can do the panning time, so we can do Napster panning time, and let's just do it at 2. Done, quite quicker. But I can also do the number of drops per layer, so I can do Napster panning drops, and let's make it 10 per layer. I mean, that's silly, you wouldn't want to do that. Take a layer, bang, take a layer, bang. But you can also, if you're going to change the drops, you could make it more expensive in terms of saturation. So let's do saturation 2, so it uses twice as much saturation to do the job. You know, that's your panning. There's not a huge amount to it. It's just one of those things that you can make a simple let me just get rid of all of that and have a munch. My god, there's a lot of flies over this pond. Now the tilling with a hoe just gives you speed, so we can do /Napster tilling speed from 0.01 to 2. So if I do 1, for example, multiplier is 1 times, and it's obviously taking a lot longer. Don't know why, maybe it's because, let me just try that. There you go, that's because of that beam there. But so you can alter the tilling speed, you can also alter the scythe speed, which is the harvesting speed. So that's that. Napster harvesting speed 2. Was there any difference? I have no idea. So we've mentioned dough forming, we've done harvesting, we've done tilling, we've done napping, we've done panning, we've done the quern, we've done clay forming, we've done the fruit bowl. If you have had a culinary artillery installed, so you've got the mixing bowl and something that can use the mixing bowl, so I don't have that, and you can actually also have that mixing bowl speed and automated on and off, same as a quern, so you can get it going and you just have to look at it. Just a simple one. And the other one, which is massively useful, but again one that you do need to take a certain... I was going to say, have I not got a forge? But I have got a forge. It's there. I'll just do a couple. Didn't design this for use, did I? Note to self, change that in the master, so those are at the front. Anyway, we'll get those up to temperature. We'll let those come down to here. I'll grab myself a hammer, and so we can do smithing now. You can do the number of voxels, you can do the cost and durability of the hammer, you can do instant smithing. So again, if you want to avoid the mini game, you can do, otherwise, you know, you can change the actual number of voxels it does. We had it set to 4 on the Rusty Gear server, and to be honest, that was faster than using a halve hammer, a 4 halve hammer. So yeah, be careful with that one. It does kind of render certain things obsolete. I'm going to get these up to temperature, and I'll be back in a second. Alright, let's put this to the test. 1 ingot. And we're going to make a pickaxe, and we're going to set you to autocomplete, and you go tap and you just hit the thing and it does it automatically for you, automatically. And again, this is really, if you're like me and the mini game is, you know, old after the first dozen or so times you do it, then things, it's not brilliant because it really doesn't handle it really doesn't handle the things. I just need to go and get my cheat sheet back up again. It really doesn't handle the anvil well, for example. But if we were to go Napster, God, I really need to learn to type. Napster smithing voxels 4, just give you an example of what that looks like. And again, we are in automatic mode. You can see it makes it very trivial. Now again, it doesn't matter, this is play. I would be the first person to tell you to play the game you want to play. If you never want to touch this again, and you never want to play with a game, play with Napster, that's fine, it's your game. So yeah, definitely play the game. I didn't pick any of those picks up, did I? Because I've got no storage. Yeah, they're in there, look. But Napster is absolutely brilliant. Now, some people say, why isn't there a config file for Napster? Does it have to be all done by the command line? The answer is yes and no. So, unlike most mods where the folder exists within your data folder, which is where your mods are installed and your save data goes, there's also a config folder. That's where your config files would normally go. There is also a folder called mod data, and in mod data there's a folder called Apache Tech Solutions. And in Apache Tech Solutions, that's where Apache stores all of his configs. So accessibility tweak configs go in there, campaign cartographer go in there, Napster configs go in there. There's still JSON files, you can still edit them and change things directly in them, but the commands are there, they're relatively easy to use, and you know, it's is there. So that is Napster by Apache. I genuinely do think this should be part of the base game. Some people may disagree with me, that's fine, it's my opinion, and you know, if you want a different one, you're absolutely fine to have those. But yeah, on that note, thank you very much for watching, guys. URL for the mod will be on the screen or in the description or somewhere. And until next time, thanks for watching. Bye for now.